The next round of hypercharges are kind of weird because almost all of them, if not all of them, have already been leaked. And the only thing we really don't know is the abilities. I'm sure you guys have seen this all over the place on the internet like a couple weeks ago. Brawl Stars kept showing hypercharges way more than they usually do. So I'm going to show you where Brawl Stars leaked them, some concepts that other creators have made, and then I will give my opinion on what I think it's going to do. And if you want a hypercharge in real life, then scroll down and subscribe. For legal reasons, that's a joke, but do it anyways. So I saw most of these on my timeline through Canal Brawl Stars. Be sure to go check him out. I will link his YouTube, Twitter in the description, so check him out. This is the main source where I saw it, but they were also everywhere else. I'm just using these tweets because they're really well organized. Most of these were in like Brawl Stars update videos on the official Brawl Stars channel, so you can go see it for yourself. These are official, and most of the time these are real. Like they are almost 100% accurate every time this happens, but they just did so many this time around. So the first one, as you guys probably already know, Chester is getting a hypercharge. The edits here are just wild, but yeah, Chester is the first brawler, which is kind of crazy because I thought he was going to be like dead last because he has 5 supers, but he's near the end, so not as far as I thought he would be. I think his hypercharge is going to be weird though. Like, what are they actually going to do? Are they going to make something separate for all 5 supers, or are they going to combine all 5? Most concepts I've seen online about this hypercharge, which you guys may have seen this before. Also, shout out to Lyle's Brawl. I'm going to link everybody shown here in the description. Lyle's Brawl makes a ton of concepts, and this is theirs for Chester, which just uses all 4 random supers, or it uses 4 and then throws a 5th one out. That's all of them combined. Obviously, this is way too broken. This is not what it's gonna be. This is too much. The healing, the stun, the slow, the poison, the explosion, and then everything at once. By far way too much. Like, this will never happen. We have another concept from Pineapple made a year ago, so this is a long while ago. And this one basically does the same thing without the double up where you do it all twice. It's just every super at once. So you chuck it like a nuke and it just boom, like everything happens. Does the spray will heal friendly brawlers? Like, this would just be insane. Nobody would survive this. This is why I don't think it's gonna be an all 5 combined type thing, because like it's like Dynamite Hypercharge that's basically undodgeable, and it'll definitely kill you. Like, if it doesn't kill you, you're gonna get slowed in this thing and you're gonna die to that. Like, this is just too much. So what I personally think is gonna happen is each individual super is gonna have some type of buff to it, and you might get more than one super. Like, I could see a world where you get multiple supers while your Chester Hypercharge is active. Like, maybe the number goes up to 3, and then you can throw 3 different ones out separately, and they each have their own thing. They've used this mechanic before. We now have a couple brawlers who have multiple supers, so I could see it adding a couple more to it once you press the hypercharge button. As long as you have your super, you can throw more out, and it's just how it is. The next hypercharge that was leaked is Mr. P's, which is another one that's gonna be kind of weird. They're usually a little odd with the turrets and stuff in terms of hypercharges. Most of the time, it just seems like they get beefed up stats wise, and that's just about it. Like, Bruce gets larger, he gets faster, he might do more damage. Jesse's turret gets way more health, also does more damage. So I'm assuming Mr. P's is going to be more of a number-based thing, kind of like Eve's. Like, Eve shoots out like 10 babies when she has her hypercharge, and they all just rush in. And Mr. P's porters aren't really known for being like super tanky or big damage. They're kind of just annoying. So before I give my opinion, let's look through some concepts. A couple of these have like no attention, so I wanted to show these. This one's from Stardust 1003. This one's called Overtime. While the hypercharge is active, the super will spawn 2 additional porters, and the respawn time of the porters will decrease to 1 second. So if they die, then they'll respawn immediately, but they have to die within the 5 seconds that you have. I don't really know how that would work. The additional 2 porters will stop respawning at the super once the hypercharge ends. However, they will not disappear until destroyed. I think this one seems fine, but it might be like a little bit too convoluted. That might be why it didn't get that much attention. So now we have this massive post from Pineapple. While hypercharged, Mr. P super can spawn up to 3 porters at once. So like I said, numbers, I think that is what they're gonna do with his. I don't know if it's gonna be 2, 3, 4, who knows, but I do think that it's gonna be multiple, because he already has a gadget that beefs up his porters. So there might be a world where you can hypercharge, get 3 porters on the map, and then press the gadget and it buffs all 3 of them. That would be broken. I think it should still buff one of them, but I feel like that would be something that happens that makes him the best brawler in the game. And then another one that didn't get that much attention is from NOR. This one's called Blue Colony. Mr. P's base cannot be destroyed now, but it will disappear after 8 penguins are launched. So you can't delete his thing. That would be so annoying. And you have to continuously kill porters. So this would be like a spawn trap type of thing because you can't fight back. You have to keep killing the porters that spawn out. I think it's interesting, but probably too powerful for a hypercharger. Like 8 porters coming out of an invincible thing, that would just be annoying. Next up, we have Bo's hypercharge. And I honestly kind of forgot that Bo existed. But I'm excited. I feel like this brawler should have gotten one a long time ago, but part of me thinks that like they didn't really know what to do, so they kind of waited. And Bo is one of those brawlers where like both of his gadgets and both of his star powers don't feel incredibly like impactful. Anyway, we have a couple concepts for Bo as well. This is one that is less known, so go check out Own Mirror 9477. This one's called Nature's Revenge. Bo's mines will explode upon contact without waiting time. This one makes them wait until somebody steps on them, so they'll stay there, which is kind of cool. Part of me likes that. It's kind of similar to Tripwire though, so I don't really know. Like every idea I can think of as well for this hypercharge is just kind of like Tripwire, where either they instantly explode, or like Pineapple's idea, it just explodes immediately. Even if nobody steps on it, they just go boom. It's similar to Tripwire. The only other idea I can think of is maybe he puts 4 mines down, because back in the day when he had 4 mines, that was just broken and they removed it. But I could see a world where he gets 4 mines and maybe they explode faster, because then you can still Tripwire them. I think hypercharges where the ability stays on the map are interesting, like Gray's, because they can give long-lasting support for the match. And I do think that Gray's portal should have like some kind of timer, because it being there for the whole match is just maybe a little broken. Next hypercharge from another Brawl Talk type video where they're just showing update stuff. We have a Meg hypercharge. This one is kind of hard to see. I'm not gonna lie, but apparently it's there. A lot of people are talking about this stuff at the time that it happened, and I think you can see it right there potentially. So yeah, Meg. This one, I don't know. Like, will she do something if she hypercharges and then goes back into her mech? Will it like explode? Will it push people away like her star power does, but like in reverse? Will that have any effect when she goes back into her mech, or does she have to super while in the mech and then it does something? I feel like if her hyper super does something different in both forms, one of them is going to be more broken, and you're going to want to save your hypercharge for one of the forms. And I have a feeling this is going to go for any brawler that has multiple supers with hypercharges. So this one is from NX Crypto 8. This is the only video I was able to find about a Meg hypercharge, and it just makes her super go in a 360 radius. So let me show that again. It just does it all the way around. Alternatively, when you're getting into your mech, I believe it just does it faster. When I'm playing Meg, most of the time it just feels like I cannot get in range of my super, so I think it could possibly make this super larger. I don't know if a 360 radius is necessary, but it could be cool. Frank's doing that is pretty good, so like it wouldn't give constant value, but it would give potential value there. And as for getting into your mech, maybe you could get some kind of speed boost after you get into the mech. So like you hypercharge, you go in the mech, you run fast for a bit, maybe you get some kind of overshield, something like that. Meg is a little bit confusing, and I think there's a reason why she hasn't gotten one until now. But yeah, I want to know what you guys think. Like, what should this even do? So this one's a little bit different. This one's not gameplay. It's from some like weird link. I'm not sure if this one is true or not, so don't take this one too literally, but it shows the symbol there. Not really an in-game example from a official Brawl Stars video. I don't even know where to find this, so this could entirely be fake. I was only able to find a single Lola hypercharge concept. This one is from Lyles again, and it says Lola's ego is an exact replica of Lola and has the same health, speed, damage, and natural health regen. I think this would be kind of cool. Maybe it would be like too much in a sense where it throws people off, but if it's an exact clone of her, then you can control it the same way that you would your normal self. It would have regen, it would have the same movement speed, and this one might last until it dies, so you could probably spawn trap people with this if you're good with Lola. Most of Lyle's concepts are like too broken, but like I think this one looks kind of fun. Lola needs something like this. I'm not really sure what else it could do, because it's not like Lola's clone needs to get up close to somebody. Like, we already have a defensive gadget. What more could it really do besides give the clone some kind of flat buff? And I think this is just a good idea. So for this one, I pulled up an official Brawl Stars short straight up from Brawl Stars, and yeah, like usual, they don't even try to hide it. They just show Mandy's hypercharge right here. So we have all 6, assuming they're doing 6 in this next update. This is all of them, and this has been the common idea for Mandy's hypercharge. It's just making it wider. They did have the mutation where it's split 3 ways. I don't think that's going to be it, because that's not like crazily useful unless you're point blank, because then it just one-shots everybody. Some people think it's going to be a laser beam that you can control, so you you just aim it forward, and then it's a continuous beam that goes across the map, and you can kind of turn it with your aim stick. I think that's a bit overkill. I think that they could do an entire brawler with that kind of super instead, but I think making it wider, it's kind of like a boring concept, but in Mandy's case, it's cool in a way because it's such a big projectile, and getting collaterals with it is so useful, and it's pretty easy to miss as well. So not only would it be wider and easier to hit multiple people, but if you hit them, they're probably gonna die. Like, they're gone. It already does so much damage. Shout out Junior Orange Juice for this visual here. And yeah, those are all of the 6 hypercharges leaked, possibly minus the Lola one. I'm not sure, but yeah, most of them at least. And Brawl Stars straight up showed 5 of them on their own videos. Yeah, let me know if you think anybody else is gonna get one. I'm not too certain. Maybe like 1 or 2 other brawlers might. Part of me, for some reason, kind of thinks that like Kenji or Meeple might get one. Don't take my word on that, but it might happen. And yeah, subscribe. I'll see you later. Have a good night.